Illman, Mike Beer. The feature race at Aqueduct on Saturday is the $150,000 Jimmy Winkfield Stakes for 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs. It's a nice card at the Big A on Saturday. Make sure you get involved with the new DRF Bets account, because when you bet or deposit 50, you get to bet with 200. So exciting, I get tongue-tied. Bets.drf.com is where you need to go for all of the details. Let's meet the field of 3-year-olds in the Jimmy Winkfield. Maybe we get a starter for the Gotham and the Wood Memorial later this spring. From 9 to 5 on the morning line for the number 3, Haikal. This is a half-brother to Takaful, who is a crack sprinter in his own right. Takaful, if you remember, was a little bit of a head case. Yep. He pulled, he was eager, he could not settle in the early stages. Yep. This horse is the complete opposite. Yes, he has no speed whatsoever, but he does come with a nice kick.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's run pretty well in each of his first 2 starts. The debut, which came over this distance, he got away last in that race. He was far out of it early. I like the run that he put in down the outside, though. Came up just short at the end. Last time, sort of a similar situation where he just was outrun early. He really made a nice run up the inside late in that race. He shot through right at the end to get up. I like both of his races, Dan. I hate his running style. We'll see if it eventually catches up with him, but he's got some talent. I think he is the horse to beat here.
What I liked about that last race was while he was being outpaced, even with 3 furlongs to go, he was far back. Rajiv didn't panic. Yep. He wasn't all over him. He didn't get the whip out. He wasn't scrubbing on this horse. He was very confident. He knew what he had. He turned into the stretch. He was down inside, and he rolled past the leader, who came back to win his very next start with a similar 85 Beyer speed figure. Haikal is going to have to overcome the pace situation, however, because he has no speed. And Timeform US, while indicating that the race doesn't have a blue bar, you got Haikal last in this situation, so at a short price, he's going to have to do some work against better horses.
Yeah, it's a tougher field. He's going to have to run better. Your American Mandate, the horse he ran down last time, did come back to win.
By a nose.
I want to say it was a 3-horse field, maybe, won by a nose. I mean, he's an okay horse. He's run a couple of fast races in a row. You're right. I mean, I don't think they'll be walking on the lead in here, Dan, but I mean, I don't think they're going to have a huge pace here, but they're not going to be walking on the lead. This horse is going to have an okay setup.
The horse that could be sitting close to the pace is the number 2, Jovia, going out for a real underrated trainer in Gregory Sacco. And the word was that this horse was working with mind control. Sacco's real good 2-year-old that won the Hopeful, and I believe he won the Jerome earlier this year as a 3-year-old in New York. He won his career debut at Monmouth way back in July, and he had all kind of knee problems that knocked him out. So this will be his first start off a long layoff. But he did beat a couple of next out winners in that race at Monmouth. The 4th horse coming back to graduate with a 74 Beyer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, he ran fine in his first career start. It was a sloppy track. It was 5 furlongs. But he took some money in that race and then he ran. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get from him here, though. Obviously, if you're going to miss over 200 days after your debut, something went wrong. And not only is he coming back in a stakes race against better horses, 7 furlongs right off the bench. There's a lot working against this horse.
A horse that had no problem with 7 furlongs in the career debut. The 4, Tikvin Flew, who we expect to be right up close to the pace. This is a half-brother to the multiple stakes-placed runner, Latique. And that debut was very professional, solid. The 3rd horse came back to Parks, graduated with an 81 Beyer speed figure. Timeform US, very impressed. Gave that horse a 113 raw speed figure out of that last race and gets the big jump on Haikal turning into the stretch.
Yeah, he's going to be up close again. The things that you like about his debut, not only was it at 7 furlongs, there was a good pace going on in that race. This horse got bet. He was a part of that pace the entire way. He took over. The horse that ran second to him, Pulsate, he's not bad. He's no superstar, but he is not a bad horse. That horse sat a perfect trip and took a run at this horse, and Tikvin Flew just turned him away. That was a very strong debut for a barn that is just winning everything at Aqueduct this winter. There's a lot to like about this horse.
Gates of Dawn, the number 7's your leader on the Timeform US Pace Projector. Plus, we have a positive formulator fact for his trainer, John Service. Past 5 years with 3-year-olds off 31 to 44-day layoffs, cutting back from routes to dirt sprints. 42% winners, a $2.40 ROI. This horse has a very strong turf pedigree, but has done just fine from 3 starts on the dirt. And the Jerome last time out, maybe it was a little bit too tough for him.
Yeah, I think that's probably the case. It was just a little too tough for him. Those horses a little bit better. He gets a little bit of a cutback in distance here. He's got a great post on the outside. He's got speed. I think his first 2 races are good. I don't think they're great. I think they're good, though. He was run down by direct order in his debut, but this horse did a lot of work in that race up on the pace, so he actually ran pretty well that day. You know, we'll see. I'm not like way against him in here, Dan, but I don't love him.
I'd flip-flop the pace projector, though. I think Tickfin Flu is going to try to go to the front. I think Gates of Dawn is going to try to take advantage of that outside post position and sit off. And maybe that actually might even help Tickfin Flu a little bit, as well as Gates of Dawn. No speed duel. Jump for Alex, the number 1, recently won at Parks. It was a solid 77 buyer. I liked the way he did it. I thought the pace set up very nicely for him. This is a 2-time winner. There are only 2 of them in the field.
Yeah, he got a perfect trip when he won last time, but he did get it done, and he's, got back to, close to his career best figure, which he earned first time out when he just went right to the front going 4.5. He's off the pace now. Does this race set up enough for him? Is he good enough to run down some better horses? I think there's a lot working against him.
Family Biz, the number 6, finished 3rd in the Jerome 2 starts back. He was 4-1 against Mind Control, a legitimate horse, and he ran just fine that day, pairing up 80 buyers after that performance. Last time out, he was odds on, dropped down into a level where he thought he could win. Now, maybe you could make the argument there wasn't a lot of pace and he was hung out wide, but he didn't do any running.
Yeah, he was bad last time. It was only 8 days ago. They're coming right back with him, so I guess Eddie Barker thinks everything's fine, and maybe he has an excuse for him last time. I wanted to see some kind of excuse, though. He was bad in that race at a very short price. To me, it just makes him really hard to take in this race.
And Direct Order, who was 5-1 in the Jerome against Mind Control, coming off a good fig sprint win, never got out of first gear in the Jerome. Was it simply a situation where those horses are too tough and maybe he's more of an allowance horse right now?
I think that might be the case. I mean, he would just look like he was completely overmatched in that race, and it's not like, this field is that much worse than that. And that was a good field in the Jerome, but there are some good horses in here too. I know he got an 82 back when he won, but that was a 4-horse field. There were 2 fillies in there who just couldn't go with those horses. It was really a match race between him and the horse that he beat. I'm not sure how good this horse is.
Top pick time for the Jimmy Winkfield Stakes. Your top pick gets the jump on mine. I expect Tickfin Flu to be in front turning into the stretch. I expect Haikal to have a lot of work to do, and I expect Haikal to run him down. I've been very, very impressed with what I've seen with this horse kicking. I usually don't like these 1-run closers in this race, but he's got the pedigree, he's got the connections, he's got the performance on the track. If you give him a little bit of pace, he's going to come flying late. That is a very unappetizing price on David's morning line, however, 9-5. I'm going 3-7-4-1. If you get 5-2 on Tickfin Flu, I think you'd be very happy.
I could bet him to win in this race if he's around that price. They're the only 2 that I want to use, Dan. 4-3, nobody else.
4-3 for Mike, 3-7-4-1 for me, and the $150,000 Jimmy Winkfield Stakes. Bet it with a DRF Bets account. You won't be sorry. Deposit $50, bet with $200. Bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the Jimmy Winkfield, 4:34 Eastern. Good luck.